You should do like a different funny intro for each one.
Welcome to people of Reddit. No, that sounds stupid. Today we're going to be diving into Am I the Asshole, which is my personal favorite subreddit, because I am very judgy by nature, and this is the one place where you are fully expected to be judgmental. For our first post, user Rare Rise says, Am I the asshole for calling my brother's mother-in-law a bitch because she fined her hotel guests for writing a bad review? My brother's parents own a nice hotel in rural Maine, and recently some guests had a bad experience and gave them a 2-star review on TripAdvisor. Brother-in-law showed up late, causing the guests to wait 2 hours in the cold to get in, and the heating also stopped working several times, so I think the 2-star review was generous. Well, there was some vague writing about negative reviews, and mother-in-law fined them $450 and charged their card since they left a negative review on Yelp and on Facebook or something. I'm not sure about the exact wording or the law on this, but the couple is now suing mother-in-law, and she's bitching about it on Facebook and at family gathering. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess that's a little bit on the illegal side. She, at the dinner, with like 60 of us, said it's unfair about the bad review damaging her business, and now she's getting sued. I told her she wouldn't have this problem if she wasn't such a bitch to her customers. And petty as fuck like that, and I pointed out the irony of her calling Trump and Republicans fascists and Nazis on Facebook when she's trying to censor other people. She got up and left. A lot of people said I was rude to her, and that I'm only a dumbass 19-year-old and I should respect my elders and shit. Edit. Forgot to mention, brother and his wife are pissed I insulted the mom and are demanding I apologize and make up for it. And I told both of them to piss off. I'm going through the comments on this one. It seemed a little bit divisive. It seemed like most people are leaning toward this kid as an asshole. But this is one of my favorite comments here. Nope. I would have done it the same way as OP, and I'm 30. Managing 2 stores and balancing reviews. Tact is for mistakes. Being shitty gets you called out. Gotta agree with that guy. Another commenter echoed these same sentiments by saying, sometimes tact doesn't work on people, and 100% require being told something extremely bluntly before it will sink in. I prefer blunt people in my life. You may not always hear what you like, but you will often hear the truth, and only then can you work on being a better person. Respect the elderly is 100% bullshit. Just because you are old doesn't mean you get respect, and it especially doesn't mean that you can't be or aren't wrong. And if you can't handle being wrong, or being told you are wrong bluntly or otherwise, you still have growing up to do. To me, it sounds like a lot of entitlement from the mother-in-law and the rest of the family when the mother-in-law is horribly, horribly in the wrong on so many levels, and if what she did isn't illegal, it 100% should be. Indeed. Don't ever mistake being blunt with just being an asshole, though. I know a lot of people that do that. I'm just a very blunt person. I think maybe you should go home and kill yourself. Sorry, I'm just a blunt person. I'm just brutally honest. I love that. Everyone who says I'm brutally honest is a dick. Some disagreements. My mother always taught me that no matter how right you are, the moment you act out and act like a douche, I don't think your mom said that, you stop being in the right. You were right that mother-in-law was being awful, of course. However, by being rude and aggressive, you shifted the target from her to yourself. By acting out, you draw attention away from her actions, and instead get people annoyed at your words and the way you expressed yourself. A big part of growing up is learning the best way to talk about things like this. Making a stink is childish, but we all have to get there. You want to stay as fair and neutral so that people stay exclusively on your side. By being an asshole, you have people on the fence because they can't support either of your stances. It's a really important social lesson to learn. Never alienate the people you want to support you. You're the asshole for that. I'd say apologize to your family politely. That includes the mother-in-law. Show you understand you spoke improperly. Move on and learn from this social faux pas. I included this comment because it was honestly the most convincing from the other side. Honestly, there's compelling arguments from both sides, but I would put myself somewhere in the middle and say, yes, you are the asshole, but you're kind of the asshole she needed at that moment. Sometimes we all need a little bit of assholery in our lives. Next post comes from user insert3me here. I'm not even going to try to pretend to know how to say that. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my sister over something stepmom bought me? I, 17 female, have a half-sister, 15 female. My parents divorced and my mom remarried and had my sister. I split my time between my parents. It's easy because we live in the same city. As my father is now wealthy, we do nice things frequently, such as international holidays every year. My father remarried when I was 5 years old. My stepmom is the sweetest lady, and when Dad and I plan holidays, she naturally comes with us. My good relationship with my stepmom has always annoyed my bio mom. After a weekend with my dad, I had to go back to my mom. I just got my license, so I insisted on driving myself. Stepmom lent me one of her Range Rovers. One of her Range Rovers? Wow, that's awesome. If you need to borrow a car sometime, I could let you borrow my 98 Toyota Corolla. Shit, I don't know if they made Corollas back then. My 87 Honda Accord. We had one of those, so I know those exist. Pull into the driveway, and my sister runs out and asks to drive it. I say no, obviously, because she doesn't have a license, and I don't know how my stepmom would feel if I let family members drive it. She says that she has her learner's permit, and if I'm in the car with her, it'll be fine. I still say no. I'll say this, your sister has some balls. Biomom says I shouldn't have such an expensive car. She goes on about how she used to be the one that supported my dad because he made so little during their marriage. Ooh, mom's an asshole. She's already probably the biggest asshole in this situation so far. Unless, I don't know, is it healthy to shit on your kid's father right in front of them? I can't remember. It's either significantly damaging to your relationship or just fine. One of those two. I unpack and come downstairs. My mom now wants to talk about how I'm mean to my sister, and I should share things that I own. Apparently she started crying because I wouldn't let her drive my car. I say it's not mine, and I can get Dad and stepmom to come down and pick it up. Mom gets furious when she realizes I drove stepmom's car home. Accuses me of showing off Dad's wealth since she couldn't afford to give my sister such nice things. 2 days later, I notice my sister wearing a necklace. My heart drops. It was a necklace from Tiffany's that my stepmom had gotten me for my 9th birthday, with our names engraved on it. I still love it and refuse to go anywhere without it. Because of what biomom feels about stepmom, I don't wear it while I stay with her. But it's still in my jewelry box. I usually don't say anything when my sister comes into my room and takes my stuff, but this was the one piece that was off limits and she knows it. As Judge Judy says, "Don't tell me what she knows, that's hearsay!" I tell her to take it off and she refuses. Since she can't drive the car, may as well let her wear the necklace. I tell her she can take literally anything from my room except this. I would have seen that as a challenge. I would have gone into your room and, taken your TV or something like that, just to call your bluff. But I would then be the asshole in the situation. Her reply? "But it's from Tiffany's. It's expensive, so I want to wear it." We fight, and she still refuses to hand it back and hints that she'll keep it for herself since I can get a new one. Since I can get a new sentimental necklace. Why do you want that necklace? It has the name of 2 different people on it that aren't you. I blow up on her. I tell her not so politely to hand the necklace back and that my things are not hers. That she's able to use my stuff because I don't mind, not because she is entitled to it. She gives back the necklace and runs off crying. Mom comes to my room later and accuses me of being selfish, and that my sister does have a right to use my things, and I'm being a spoiled brat by not letting her use them. That I shouldn't have yelled at my little sister over a necklace. Everyone in the comments was pretty in agreement that OP wasn't the asshole here. But I did something I don't often do, and I actually commented on this because I noticed something that I didn't see a lot of people talking about. I said, "The only real asshole here is your bio mom. Your sister is certainly an asshole in training, but being that young with such an outwardly jealous role model is some tough conditioning to shake. I certainly understand your mother being jealous at the wealth, and insecure about the fact that she can't give her daughters as many nice things. Those are conversations to be had by the adults behind closed doors. When you're a parent, you don't unload your petty insecurities onto your innocent children." So yeah, your sister's probably gonna be an asshole, but it's kinda hard for me to call a 15-year-old an official asshole. She kinda didn't stand a chance being raised by your mother. Our next post comes from user throwaway62. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that she can't have her dream job because I refuse to be burdened with all of her student debt? May sound a little asshole-ish from the title alone, but let's not judge a book by its cover.
Isn't that what covers are for?
You know what it is. I gotta rethink everything. That's why a cover of a book is so important, because everyone's gonna judge it by that. God, I'm gonna get a haircut. My wife and I married young, at 23. And now at 27, she's about to graduate from law school. The issue is, she has a ton of student debt. Around $195,000 from both undergrad and now law school. Get some Dave Ramsey advice here. This is giving me anxiety just hearing you talk about it. But over the past year, she's completely changed her mind about law and becoming a lawyer. She now wants to teach and do Teach for America after graduating. She told me this past week. We've talked about this at length, and she wants to do this because it's her new dream job. Previously it was law. Her new dream job? Yeah, this is now retroactively my lifelong dream. To join the underappreciated and underpaid field of teaching. I'm upset because if she teaches, her starting salary will barely clear $35,000 in the first few years, and we live in a really, really expensive city. She has no intention of going back into law later as well, as she says law school was a mistake. How do you go through the whole damn thing? Like, when did you find out it was a mistake? At the end? Is it like eating a giant 3-pound burger and you did it too fast and you didn't have time to think about it, and then after it starts to kind of expand in your stomach, you realize, oh, shit. That was a bad idea.
You seem like you're speaking from experience.
I mean, I'm a wimp. I can't eat that much, but
Jared's calling you fat.
I've made... Am I the asshole for calling my husband fat? Votes are in, and yes, you are. Last night, we were talking about the future, and she mentioned our plans to have kids in a few years, and how she'd like to be a stay-at-home mom in a few years as well. I looked at her and asked how she thinks we're going to afford that when we've got nearly $200,000 in debt on my one income. She got mad and said I'm trying to use her debt to postpone major life events, like having kids. The way I see it, we can't afford not to have a bunch of kids with $200,000 in student loan debts. We ended up fighting, and I told her she can't just teach if she expects me to be saddled with her debt as a result. I said she should at least work a high-paying job for a few years to repay a good portion. She said I'm prioritizing money over her happiness, and that she's disappointed in my lack of support when they would be my kids and my life as well. Am I the asshole to tell her that if she chooses to go down this path, I may need to rethink our marriage? I haven't said anything like this yet, but I am thinking it. Based on her timeline, she'd only work for 3 to 4 years before becoming a homemaker. I'd have $200,000 worth of debt to work through completely on my own. And I don't know if I can do it or if it'll completely ruin the rest of my life. Am I the asshole to say this? Driving a Lamborghini off the lot and then being like, oh no, but I wanted a Bugatti. Now this is a comment by the OP that I found. Because it's so to clarify, our original plan was for her to become a lawyer and to have kids by 29 to 32. She'd keep working and we'd likely send our kids to daycare. But she has completely changed her mind on law after a bad internship last year, and there's nothing I can say to urge her to give it another chance. But now that she wants to teach, she said it wouldn't make sense to send the kids off because daycare costs could be more than she would make. Which is true. She says she'd want to work again after the kids are older, but this could be anything from 5 to 10 years. So looking at income, she would only be earning for maybe 3 to 4 years, and then for the next 5 to 10 years at least, it would be just me paying off the interest and principal, plus all the costs of raising kids on top. Doesn't sound so bad. She's your wife, buddy. Stick with her.
Is this a good time to bring up? Just kidding. I secretly went to lawyer school without telling you.
Lawyer school? I don't think you did, because you just called it lawyer school.
Damn it.
Top comment was, not the asshole. $200,000 of debt, and she doesn't plan to work for more than 3 to 4 years? Sorry to say your wife has a death wish for you. Ask her if a dead husband by stress-induced heart attack at age 35 fits into her life plan. She needs to pull her weight. Another comment says, not sure OP's wife will pass the bar exam, because I don't think she sounds very smart. In reply, Trashy Mob said, book smart and common sense are two different things. Which I gotta say, I'm not sure that they are. I've met some very smart people who have terrible people skills, so I get that. I have never met a dumb person with common sense, though. I'm pretty sure that the phrase street smarts is used exclusively by people with really dumb kids that just don't have the heart to tell them they're dumb. Yeah, honey, I know that your big sister got a 34 on the ACT and a full ride scholarship to an Ivy League school, but, she's real awkward when she goes to order food at Wendy's. And you know how to do that. Well, let me know in the comments which ones of these people are or are not assholes, you judgy bastard. And if you would like to continue allowing me to sift through all the lame-ass Reddit posts, find the best ones so you don't have to scroll for hours, because that's apparently a trial in our day and age, then like and subscribe.